The Baba Yaga, aka John Wick. One of the most feared assassins in the world. If you haven't heard about him, you must be deaf, because this movie was everywhere when it came out. He even got a Fortnite skin. John Wick was living a peaceful life until one night it was all taken from him. This is the story of John Wick. The movie started out with a slight little teeny weeny fender bender. Is he drunk? No, he's not drunk. This is foreshadowing. Out stumbles our main character, John Wick, who probably just got done knocking somebody's head between the washer and dryer. My boy looked pretty exhausted. He all bloodied up with cuts on his head. You finna find out in a minute why he look like that. My boy John Wick thinks he's about to die. So he pull out that iPhone 5S to watch this video of his wife one last time before he kicked the bucket. That's how you know this movie old. An iPhone 5S? I can't hate on it though. An iPhone 5S way better than the iPhone 20 XR Max Plus we got now. Them things was practically indestructible except for, well, the screen. Anywho, we cut to John waking up at 6 a.m. He get him a cup of coffee, turn his swag on, take a look in the mirror, say what's up. Yeah, he got money. Oh. But no, seriously, John gotta have some deep pockets. You see this house? But John is reminiscing about his wife. See, his wife died from an illness they never explained in the movie, but you can see it's taking an effect on my boy John. I mean, how would you feel if your wife died and left you in a 5,000 square foot house alone? Would you find a new woman? Drown out your sorrows alone and become a raging alcoholic? I'm not gonna lie, if I found the love of my life and she clock out, I'd never smile again. I'ma look like Kawhi Leonard everywhere I go. I'ma look like Peter Parker in that new Spider-Man trailer. But we see John at his wife's funeral and the camera pans out to some mysterious figure watching John. Well, that mysterious figure turns out to be Willem Dafoe, the GOAT, aka the Green Goblin, aka the flyest unk out there. His name's Marcus. Him and John used to do business together. He pull up on John like, hey John, I'm sorry your wife died and all. How you holding up? First off, what are you doing here? Secondly, how you think I'm holding up? My wife just died. Asking me stupid questions. I'm just checking on an old friend is all. Stay well, John. Man, could have at least gave me a hug or something. We cut back to John at his house and it looks like someone's delivering John a pet. In the cage, it's a little note from his wife and a beagle. This a beagle, right? All my dog lovers in the comments, let me know what type of dog this is. But John's wife essentially arranged for this dog to be delivered to John whenever she died because she knew if John didn't have anything to love when she was gone. Look at this dog. This dog look just as sad as John. He look like he don't want to be here neither. John over here boohoo crying and the dog look over at him like, hey yo, you good, gang? You need a tissue or something? Shoot, finally you let me out this cage. I'm claustrophobic. Hey, this a nice house you got around here. Yeah, there's plenty of room for me to pee on your furniture. Oh yeah, that's a nice spot right there for me to dookie. This way better than the pet store. Hey, what you bringing those for? Nah, I'm sleeping on this bed, gang. You know I'm not no flow sleeping dog. Stop playing with me, man. Man, good night, ugly boy. So then we cut to the dog waking John up in the morning, and John and the dog set out to run errands for the day. We follow John to the gas station where some goons pull up. Hey, what they speaking? Is that Russian? One of them start talking to John about his car. I see you got a Mustang Boss 69. This mud nice. How much? It's not for sale. Then the goon say some disrespectful junk in his native tongue that he ain't think John was gonna catch. John get right back with him in his native tongue. Bro looking bamboozled. Then his friend come and dismisses John to go on his merry way. John end up going to an airstrip to drive his car around and look at John. What you think this is, Fast and Furious? The Daytona 500? John end up pushing the car a little too much though, cause he almost end up smacking straight into one of those bulldozers. John goes back home and hops into bed exhausted from the day. He cuddled up with the dog and ends up falling asleep, but the dog wakes him in the middle of the night barking. John gets up to see what's going on and gets clubbed over the head with a metal bat. Probably busted his head to the white meat. It's like 5 goons and they all taking turns hitting John. The dog whimpering in the back. One of the thugs tell the other to shut the dog up and they unalive the dog. I'm not gonna lie, that's uncalled for, man. You know, steal the car or whatever, but deleting my dog? I was just gifted yesterday by my deceased wife? You doing too much. Turns out the thugs that broke into John's house were the thugs from the gas station, as you may have guessed. John wakes up and now he gotta bury his dog. 2 days after he buried his wife. My boy can't mourn peacefully. Mind you, this is over a car. That's why after all this, what John does next in my eyes is entirely justified. We cut to the thugs driving John's car back to the chop shop, where I'm assuming they take all their stolen vehicles. The boss sees that car and looks like he's seen a ghost. He asks, bruh, hey, where you get that car? Hey, bro, who care about all that? I said I want a new VIN and some clean papers. You finna have to get out of my shop right now. The owner of that car, you kill him or what? Man, nah, I ain't kill him. I killed his dog, though. Oh, you killed his dog. Hey, nah, hey, yo, I'm weak. You stupid nimwit. Get out of my shop. Mind you, he telling John a story of what happened because John pulled up to the shop, but they were gone by the time he got there. John tells him he needs a ride, and bruh pull off in another bad Mustang. Got the racing stripes on that mug, and ooh. By the way, the thug's name is Losif. I forgot to tell y'all. The dad on the phone talking about some, hey, I heard you punching on my son. Why? Well, because your stupid son stole John Wick's car and killed his dog. Oh. So now you see how John Wick's name runs in the streets. Everybody knows not to mess with him. And Losif just opened up Pandora's box. Losif goes to see his dad, and his dad is obviously not happy for obvious reasons. Soon as he see his son, son, you know I love you, right? But you are very much an idiot. Do you know whose car you stole? Of course you don't, because if you did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I might as well pack you up myself, because you're very much dead. I should have left you with your mother. Damn! Meanwhile, while they having this convo, they cut us back to John, who's going into his basement with a sledgehammer. What could he be doing with this sledgehammer? Well, he's about to destroy his floor. See, John cemented over all his assassin gear in hopes that he never has to use it again, being that he retired and all. But, Losif just brought him out of retirement. John looking like Kratos in the God of War games. How he had to get them blades of chaos from up under the floorboards. Just that exact same timing. In the midst of digging up his past, Losif's dad gives John a little call. Hey, John. I heard about your wife, man. That ain't that sad. My condolences. But hey, look, man. You know, I know you and my son got into a little situation and look, he's sorry, man. He ain't know. Please spare my son, man. John, you there? Hung up on that man. John not trying to hear none of that. So Losif's dad sent a hit squad to John's crib to take him out. Not gonna lie, that's a terrible idea. You never supposed to fight nobody in their own house. That's like having home field advantage. He know the whole layout of his crib like the back of his hand. You gonna be in that mug tripping over tables and junk, shaking my head. John knows they coming for him, so that boy John take a shower real quick and get spiffy on him. He put on that all black suit just to stun on the viewers one time. Subtle flex, because what he about to do is the real one. They run up in John's crib with their weapons drawn. Little do they know, John is ready for him. He camping in the shadows. I know John played COD in his spare time, cause ain't no way he come out the shadows straight blasting on him. Fa, 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 fa. Got niggas falling down the stairs and all. One of them think he got the drop on Sir Wick, but he hopped smooth off them steps. Whee! Up pipe again. Fa, fa. This man John moving so tacked through his own crib. Then some of them was dumb enough to try hand-to-hand combat. I'm not gonna lie. This is like trying to fight a shark underwater. John Wick really colder off the hands than he is with a gun. Look at this. Haas, haas. Arm drag takedown. Then another one tries to come up from behind on the table. Blocks the kick, then snap bro neck over the edge of the counter. Ooh. John finishes off the last goon and it's a ring at the doorbell. It's the cops. Probably got caught due to the sound of over 100 gunshots being let off in a residential neighborhood. John goes to answer the door. Hello, John. You know, it's a noise complaint. You working again? Nah, you know, I'm just sorting some stuff out. Sorry about that. Well, I'll leave you to it then. You know, my bad for disturbing you. You know, Susan across the street, she always tripping, man. It's the second time this week. I ain't trying to end up like bro on the floor over there. You have a good night, John. This man John so tough he got the cops in his back pocket. That boy John even had a cleanup crew on speed dial to clean his crib up the same night. Had it looking like a fresh bottle of Fabuloso could. We all got that purple bottle of Fabuloso under the cabinet, and if it's not Fabuloso, I know you got that Pine Sol. Leave a like and sub if I just called you out. So Losif's dad isn't happy that John is still on the hunt for his son. So he opens up a contract on John. Put an M on his head, now he Luigi brother now. Well, it's actually $2 million, but that's besides the points. You know what I can do with $2 million? I could buy me like 2 gallons of gas with that, because the gas prices these days is outrageous. My car stay on E. If you ever see a blue Honda on the side of the road, mind your business. So John pulled up to this hotel known as the Continental. This is basically the secret headquarters for assassins from all over the world. Basically, this is where the checks and balances of the assassin world are held. This is where they come up with all the rules and stuff you gotta follow as an assassin under their jurisdiction. This is also where they hold people liable if you break any of said rules. And it also functions as a real hotel. Also, just in case you were wondering, John go downstairs to the basement and it's a whole speakeasy down there. Turns out John's old boss, Winston, is down there drinking martinis and junk. Winston telling John, listen here, John. I know you looking for information on Los's son and all, but if you dip so much as a pinky toe into this assassin business, don't be surprised if something reach up and drag your tail all the way back in. You either all the way in or you out. Ain't no set tripping. Man, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Where can I find him? Los's dad got word that John at the Continental, so you know what that means. John finna run up another nuclear kill streak, but there's a problem. See, there can be no business conducted on Continental grounds, which is code for no deleting people, so we'll see how this play out. John goes to the bar and the bartender tells John on a little napkin where Los's son is. That boy John don't waste no time suiting up. He got a bulletproof vest on and everything, bro, looking like 50 Cent. Only difference is John ain't finna get shot 9 times. Alright, my fault. Look, 50, if you watching this, I don't want no smoke. It's just jokes. I'm sorry, 50. See, Los think it's a game. He at the club popping bottles with shorties and junk. He think these stories about John are just folktales. Little do he know, John right outside about to crash the party. Got the doorman heamed up already. Blammy to the cranium. Inside, Los's right-hand man in the locker room. I don't know what he doing in there, but John in there too. Take out a guard and steal bro right in the face. Where is Losif? Hey, forget you, man. I ain't telling you nothing. Let's try this again. Where is Losif? Alright. He downstairs, man. So John killed this guy, obviously, and goes to get Losif. John finds him and leaves a trail of dead goons on the way to Losif. Losif see John and hit the burners, but John is on his tail. Losif looking like a white girl in a horror movie. He's stumbling backwards and all that, and John on that Jason Voorhees timing. Losif run outside and his homie pull up with a getaway vehicle and they skirt off. John is occupied with bodyguards Losif hired, so it's safe to say that John isn't gonna be putting Losif on a t-shirt tonight. John goes back to the Continental to get patched up because he sustained some injuries during that fight with the goons. So I stand corrected. He actually got shot. Luckily, he had that bulletproof vest on. Would have been looking like SpongeBob out here. That boy John lay down to catch some Z's, and this is how you know my boy tired. He ain't even get under the covers. Bro just lying on the comforter. But remember, they put 2 M's on John's head. Well, somebody trying to cash in. It's a dude with a sniper on a building across the way aiming right at John. But also, it's another intruder sneaking into his room at the exact same time. The sniper take a shot and misses. I'm not gonna lie, this might be the biggest sell of 2026. You had John in your crosshairs. You didn't have to fight him. He didn't even know you were there. And you missed?
You done fucked up now, boy. You done fucked up now, boy.
John roll out of the bed and the intruder turns out to be a shorty from the club earlier. John take that sling off his arm, wrap shorty up and suplex her. That's tough. Take the sheet off the bed and wraps her head in it. Give her an attitude adjustment through a glass sculpture and tell her to tell him where Losif is. Perky. I know you know where Losif is. Tell me. I know you don't want to die here. He's in Little Russia. That's where they keep their stash. Gracias. The sniper from earlier, he dipped out because he ain't want no more smoke after he seen what he did to her. John pull up to the chapel in Little Russia and the priest pulls up to John and John immediately up pipe. I'm not gonna lie, this is sick work. That boy John ain't even let him get no words out for real. Just straight up started blasting. Then he started firing on all the goons in there. John grabs the priest and has him lure him to where the vault is. So John burns all their money. Los's dad is definitely not going to be happy about this. He pulls up and John over the top of the scene watching, just lurking. He pull up on him and start letting that M4 go like it's Modern Warfare. So they all start ducking for cover. I'm not gonna lie, John's surgical with that M4. That boy got him a Vita warship, but out of nowhere they hit John with a car like he Teddy Long from SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. Now they capture my boy, got him tied up in a warehouse. Los's dad monologuing like him and his son not the ones at fault here. You know, John, do you know what was in that vault? I had stuff in there I could blackmail people with. Evidence. So, didn't I do you a favor? Look, don't try to be all logical. You still destroyed my money. You gonna pay me back? He started telling John he gotta reap what he sowed, which is why God took his wife and gave him to him. That's an interesting look, cause, you know, you definitely not supposed to be killing people, John, but That's neither here nor there. John start going off. I'm talking Broly level crash out. Picture Broly yelling Kakarot, but instead of Broly, it's John Wick yelling Losif's name. They go to try to kill John, but my boy Willem Dafoe on the roof with a sniper. He headshot a thug and give John a perfect opportunity to escape. John hot on Losif's dad's tail. He cut through the alley and up that shotty on the getaway whip. Bum, bum. He make the vehicle crash and make Losif's dad give up that low and make him take the M's off his head. That boy Losif at a safe house with his feet kicked up playing Halo. He quite literally is playing games, cause I would have been up out the country if I knew John Wick was after me. Fake ID and all. Y'all gonna be calling me Esteban from that day forward. But John right outside the safe house, he take out one of the henchmen and take his position on the sniper tower. Told them niggas meet him on Rust, a true marksman. Got that boy Losif shook. This nigga John even blow up all their getaway vehicles. How did he have time to plan this? That boy Losif got nowhere to run. John up that beam on him. Bah! Bah! Pack that man up. Now Losif's dad ain't too happy about his son getting sent to the upper room. Well, probably the lower room, but anyways, he got something up his sleeve. He betrayed John and killed the GOAT Willem Dafoe for helping John escape. Double tapped him. Now Losif Sr. on the way to a helipad to try and make a clean villain-esque getaway. But John running a one-man 2-3 zone. He intercepting that. That boy Losif Sr. inside the whip praying to whatever God he pray to, cause John doesn't exactly have the spirit of forgiveness right now. That boy John engaging him in some gun vehicular warfare. Running him down in a Hellcat just like them YNs. John wipe out all the goons and meet Losif Sr. at the helipad for some hand-to-hand combat. Or can I say mortal combat? Alright, my bad, but you get it? Cause they both mortals. Anyways, John got Losif Sr. heamed up. So much so that he pull out a knife. Now John catches his swing, but John has the idea to let him stab him. John then takes the knife out of his wound and stab Losif's dad. Now they both just sitting there in the rain staring at each other and ain't nobody doing it for Lil Saint. John bleeding out. Losif Sr. bleeding out. And now we cut back to the beginning of the movie. John obviously survives this because, well, if he didn't, there wouldn't be 4 other movies. John patches himself up and even finds him another dog. And that's how John Wick spun back for his dog. Today's Bible verse I got for y'all is Romans 12, verse 1. Vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. What this means is revenge is the Lord's and the Lord's alone. It's not up to us as humans to seek our revenge for anything anybody's done to us. Unlike John Wick, who kept revenge in his own hands. If somebody does you wrong, make sure you forgive them. And I'ma holla at y'all in the next one. Shalom, family.